To figure out how to make chords flow together, let's first listen to an example. Let's take those same chords and apply a couple concepts to make them flow together better. Alright, let's look at why this second set of chords flows together better. Alright, this first chord is a regular C major chord. No big deal there. So the second chord is where it gets a little bit interesting. It's called a slash chord or an inverted chord. It has the notes B, E, and G. By playing the chord this way, you'll notice I only moved my thumb from the C note down to the B note. This causes the transition from the C chord to the E minor chord to flow better. There's fewer differences between the two chords. If you revisit the first example, you'll see that the chords sound more disjointed. Let's continue. You'll notice now that the E minor chord sort of walks us down to the A minor chord. Following the bass notes of what we've just played, it's a nice smooth transition from C to B to A. Last, we have this. This last chord, again, is an inverted chord or a slash chord. There's a G sharp note as the lowest note in this F minor chord. Now when we look at the overall bass movement and this progression, it goes from C down to B, down to A, down to G sharp. So the bass notes are walking down very close to each other. This illustrates the concept of voice leading. If you imagine a choir and someone singing those bass notes, they would be singing notes that are close together and they would flow together well instead of jumping around. The same concept would apply to the other notes of these chords. Since my hand's not shifting up and down on the keyboard as much, the overall notes flow together really well because they're closer together. Let's revisit the original chords. We jump up to E minor here, and then down to A minor, and up to F minor. So these are all essentially the same chords, but in a different location, and you'll notice that the location of the notes you choose really makes a huge difference in how these chords flow together. Let's finish up with a nice version of this progression with some suspended chords and other notes walking together that I'll break down in a future video. Now compare that to the original chord progression. You can really hear the difference between those progressions. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it helps improve your music. Please hit like and subscribe.